My parents demanded I sell my $1.8 million car collection to buy my unemployed sister a house, so I moved all 12 cars to a secret location. Today, she texted me from her first apartment, paid with her own paycheck. My father called me selfish at least once a week for 3 years. It started when I bought my first classic car at 24, a 1967 Mustang I found rusting in some old man's barn. I paid $8,000 and spent 2 years restoring it myself. My family thought it was stupid. My sister Jenna said I was wasting money on junk. My mom said I should be saving for a house like a normal person. My dad said I would never amount to anything if I kept chasing toys instead of growing up. I didn't listen. I kept buying cars. I kept restoring them. I got good at it. Really good. By the time I was 32, I had 12 cars worth a combined $1.8 million. A 1969 Camaro, a 1971 Cuda, a 1963 Corvette. Each one I bought broken and brought back to life. I rented a warehouse outside of town to store them. I spent every weekend there covered in grease, happier than I ever was at family dinners. Jenna never worked a real job. She tried a few things here and there, but nothing stuck. She got fired from a clothing store for showing up late. She quit a restaurant job because the manager was mean. She dropped out of cosmetology school because it was too hard. Every time something fell apart, my parents bailed her out. They paid her rent, they bought her groceries, they gave her gas money and phone money and spending money. When Jenna turned 35, she was still living in an apartment my parents paid for. She had no savings, no career, no plan, and somehow that was my problem. My dad called me on a Sunday morning. "We need to talk about your sister," he said. I already knew where this was going. "She needs a house," he continued. "She's tired of renting. She wants stability, and we think you should help." I laughed. "Help how? Sell some of those cars. You have too many anyway. Use the money to buy her a place." I waited for him to say he was joking. He didn't. "You want me to sell my cars to buy Jenna a house?" I said slowly. "She's your sister. Family helps each other out. She's never helped me with anything in her life. That's not the point. You have more than you need. She has nothing. It's the right thing to do." I hung up on him. That night, my mom called. She cried and said I was breaking the family apart. She said Jenna deserved a chance at a real life. She said I was being cruel for hoarding wealth while my sister struggled. I told her Jenna's struggles were her own choices. She hung up on me. 2 days later, Jenna showed up at my apartment. She didn't knock. She just walked in. "I need to talk to you," she said, "about my cars, about being fair. You have all this money sitting in some warehouse doing nothing. I have nothing. How is that okay?" I looked at her. "I worked for everything I have. You didn't." Her face went red. "You think you're better than me because you fix old cars? That's not a real job. That's a hobby for rich people. It became a real job because I made it one." She started crying. Not sad crying, angry crying. "Mom and Dad are right. You're selfish. You don't care about anyone but yourself." She left and slammed the door. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about what my family might do next. They had a way of pushing until they got what they wanted. My dad once convinced my uncle to sell his fishing boat to pay for my cousin's wedding. My mom once guilt-tripped my grandmother into giving Jenna her savings. I realized my cars weren't safe. At 3 a.m., I called my friend Tony. He owned a farm about 2 hours away. Big property, private, no neighbors for miles. "I need to store some cars," I said. "How many?" 12. He didn't ask questions. He just said yes. Over the next week, I moved every single car to Tony's barn. I did it quietly. I didn't tell anyone. I canceled the lease on my warehouse and left no forwarding address. My parents found out 2 weeks later when my dad drove by the warehouse and saw it empty. He called me screaming, "Where are the cars?" "Somewhere safe." "You're hiding them from your own family?" "I'm protecting them from people who think they're entitled to things they didn't earn." He called me every name in the book. He said I was dead to him. He said I would regret this for the rest of my life. I blocked his number. I blocked my mom. I blocked Jenna. For 6 months, I heard nothing. Then I got a text from an unknown number. It was Jenna. I got a job, a real one, full-time at an insurance company. I've been there 4 months. I didn't respond right away. Another text came through. I moved into my own apartment last week. First and last month's rent. Paid with my own money. I stared at my phone for a long time. Then she sent one more message. "You were right. I hated you for it, but you were right." I typed back 2 words. "I'm proud."